Hi, my name's Aisha and welcome to my channel. I just want to say thank you to everyone that's subscribed since the last video. I said that I was trying to get to 200 and I'm nearly there, so thank you to everyone who's joined. And for those of you that are out there that haven't subscribed, then please just press that little red button and join the family. I know that from the analytics there's more people watching my videos that aren't subscribed than are subscribed, so you're out there lurking around but you're just not pressing the button and I'm not sure why. So yeah, help a girl out, subscribe, press the button, join the family. Today's video is actually from you guys really. Like, I've had a couple of questions about like properties and things. I think there seems to be an art to property searching, because whenever people are looking for like properties and stuff, they're like, oh, I can't find anything, and like I will just go and I'll have a look and I'll be like, oh, here's one, and they're like, how did you find that? And I'm like, oh, you know, there must be something that I'm doing that isn't quite as obvious to other people or whatever. I guess different people go about things in different ways. So this video was a suggestion from one of you guys, and I'm just going to show you a couple of websites that you can find properties on and how I go about using them. As I've said in a previous video, I mostly use Rightmove just because I find it easy. Also, I like the look of it a bit more than some of the other ones. It's just like, I'm very visual, and if something just looks a bit, you know, confusing, then I won't use it. But I've got 4 that I'm going to show you. So Rightmove, Zoopla, On the Market and Prime Location. I'm going to do what I did in the mortgage video, where I just put the same information into the different websites just to show what results you're going to get. And when you use these websites, a lot of the estate agents, they'll put their properties on each of them. So like, you'll find duplicates. You'll go on to Rightmove and you'll see that property. You'll head on to Zoopla and you'll see that same property. But then there are a few people, because obviously estate agents have to pay for the service, so they might not use all of them. So it is good to sort of shop around and search for properties on different websites, but there's some that most of the estate agents use because it's the most popular one. So just have a look and see what works for you, and yeah, hopefully this will help you out on your property search as well. Okay, so before I show you any of the search sort of options that I put into these websites, I just want to show you a couple of things that you need to sort of be wary of as you're looking, things to look out for. They could be positive or negative, it depends on what you're looking for. But yeah, so the first thing is that if you are going to search from low property prices to high property prices, you're going to see a lot of boats. So it's hard to sort of clean up the search a bit, because like for this one's a real property and then this one's a boat, and then, you know, they're quite similar in price. So you don't necessarily want to put in a lower limit, but you need to be prepared for the fact that you're going to see a lot of boats. This is another one that you need to be mindful of. If you know that you're not ready to go to auction, you don't have the amount of money that it takes to go to auction, and you're just not prepared for that process, then that's something that you can scroll past and avoid as well. Another thing to be mindful of is things like this. So you can see right away without even clicking on this property that it's cash buyers only. So if you don't have £115,000, then again, just scroll past something like this. Another thing is, so this one here, so it's got a guide price of 150 to 160. It says it's an ideal buy-to-let property with a tenant in situ. That means that the tenant is not going anywhere. So this is for investors only, okay? That tenant is going to stay there. It's quite nice. If you're looking to buy something that is tenant ready, then by all means go for that. But if you want to live in it yourself, this tenant isn't going anywhere. They've got like, they've got rights. So watch out for that. This one here, I've just highlighted because on the search that I've done, it's come up, but actually it's just a 50% share. So even sometimes you might say that you don't want any shared ownership or any schemes or anything like that, they still sometimes slip through the net. So this one wouldn't be appropriate. So again, you would just scroll past this if you don't want something that's shared ownership. Then why did I save this one? Okay, so this one here it looks like a really great deal. So this is Forest Hill. If anyone knows Forest Hill, it's a lovely area to live in, and it says it's 150,000. So that is just a guide price. You're going to know straight away that if you're going to find a property for 150 in Forest Hill, it's too good to be true. So that's auctions as well. And you can look out for certain estate agents. So like Savills, for example, they deal with a lot of auction properties. So that is something that you can just, again, quickly dismiss. So this one here is a good example of something to show you. So it says here there's a public notice, and it says that somebody has offered 110,000 on it, and they basically want someone to offer more than that. So if you were interested in this property, you would go ahead and you would offer more money, and then you could be the person that buys that house. The thing with this though is you need to be careful, because it means that when you now offer on it, it means that somebody can then gazump you. They can then offer higher than what you've offered. So it can then become almost like an auction where it goes back and forth. And if you are the first person to sort of offer on this place, you can tell, I'll enlarge it, you can tell it's a repossession property because it says do not use on it. So on the toilets and on the sinks and things like that, it has a tape on it that says do not use. So here we've got some more tape. That means that, I guess, somebody hasn't paid their mortgage, it's been repossessed, a company is actually selling this, and that company wants to get as much money as possible. So when you offer, so like it was on for £90,000, someone who offers £90,000, they're going to have it on, and it's going to constantly say this until the person who is buying it reaches exchange of contracts. So if you go around and you see something like this, you see something that says do not use on it, or you want to offer on it, but this one's got a low lease anyway, so maybe not. But if you wanted to offer on it, you would really need to make sure that you get in touch with your solicitors and make sure that they rush that process through as quickly as possible, because if not, someone can come and take it from you just by offering a higher offer. So it's not necessarily that they're a bad thing to go for, but it just means you need to go through the process much quicker than you would usually. So those are pretty much the things to look out for. And now I'm going to show you what kind of search criteria I put into my searches to be able to get up affordable properties. So in the bit where you put the town in, I'm just going to put London because that is the town that was closest to me, where I was sort of brought up and where I wanted to be close to. If for you that's Manchester or Liverpool or Birmingham or wherever it is that you want to be close to, you can put that in at this point and then just press for sale. So now you've got some more options, so you can filter the property results. So I'm going to say that I want the search radius to be within 20 miles of London, because I know that if I'm driving 20 miles in the car, for example, I'm going to be able to get there within the hour, and so that's quite a good distance. If you know that you're okay with being slightly further out, then you can expand that search radius, and then you will be able to get more properties as well in your search results. I'm not going to put a minimum in. I mean, you could put something basic in, but 50,000 is the lowest, and I think that that's fair. For a maximum, I'm going to put 150,000 in. I think that's affordable. A 10% deposit would be £15,000. That means a 5% deposit when they start offering them more freely would be £7,500. And remember what I said in the previous video about making sure that you put numbers in that are slightly above your budget, because things get reduced all of the time. So yeah, it's good to go a little bit above, so I've put 150 in there. In terms of bedrooms, like if you want to avoid studio flats, then you need to put a minimum in there and maybe put just one if you're happy with a 1 bedroom. If you just don't care how you're getting on the property ladder and you just really need your own space and you're happy to have a studio, then by all means put studio in there. You will still find that on a 1 bedroom, studios do appear because they're sort of on the wrong setting, but I think it's good practice to just put 1 in there if you know you definitely don't want a studio. There's no point in putting a maximum in, because I think whatever you can get for your money you should get, so there shouldn't really be a maximum. And here, if your budget is a bit bigger and you're looking for a house and you know you definitely want a house, then you can put houses in here, but if not, then you can fix this later, because it only lets you pick 1 at this point, but you can pick more later. So added anytime. There's no point in me putting the last 14 days, because who sells their house in 14 days? Yes, some people manage to do that, but for the average buyer or seller, it's your property's not going to be sold in 2 weeks. So there's no point in putting anything on that bit. Find properties. Okay, so before I go and look through these results, I want to make sure that I've definitely got all of the properties that I'm trying to find. And I don't think I mentioned this one before, but this is a park home that's for sale. So you don't own the land that these homes are on. They're actually not on, like, they're not solid. They're not like fixed in as such. And like there's different mortgage requirements as well. I think you can only get 80% of the price on a mortgage. So you have to have 20% and you have to pay fees for the land and things like that. So it's kind of like leasehold, I guess, but it's just not a good option. Some people do it and they like it, some don't. I don't know. But anyways, before I look through this, I'm going to put some filters on. So I'm going to say I don't want a new home because I'm not trying to spend too much money and I'm not trying to get a share either. No buying schemes, so things like shared ownership would come up under those. And because I'm not at retirement age, I do not want a retirement home. If you're at that age, then by all means just leave that. And you've got must-haves over here, but again, you don't really want to put anything in here because if your budget is low, then and you're going for a flat, like the chances are you're not going to have a garden, so there's no point in putting that in there. Just look through what is available without a garden as well, and so on. So yeah, leave that if you want more search results to come up. Okay, then you can also fix the property type here as well. So I can say I want a detached home, semi-detached, terraced, flats and bungalows. It's running a bit slow. And I'm going to leave the land one because unless you're confident enough to buy land and buy a house, you're probably not just looking for a plot of land. But if you're an investor and later on, if you that's where you want to get to, then this is going to be really valuable for you. And then park homes are those things that I just showed you. You can leave that off as well because not very many people like those. And then you've got all of your search results, so you can have a look through. Obviously 150 is at the top of the budget, so you can if you search from lowest to highest, again you're going to get all of those boats coming up. Even this one's coming up now at 150,000, so you can go somewhere like in the middle and just see what pops up for you. So areas that are coming up, so we've got Gillingham 130,000, Basildon, Essex, Luton, Tilbury, Bedfordshire, those sort of areas. So some areas in Kent, some areas in Bedfordshire, and so Gillingham's one. So yeah, lots of options. So that's the first one, and it's the same for all of the other websites. So again, if I go to Zoopla, I can do the same thing. So I can put London in as my main town. I can say I want a maximum price of 150. This one you seem to be able to go much lower, so you could put a minimum in there, but that's okay. I'm going to leave that for now, and I'm going to say 1+. Can put some advanced searches in, so 20 miles, same as what we put into Rightmove, and let's sort it the same way, so by highest price. I'm going to take off new homes, shared ownership can come off as well, and retirement homes, and you can take off auctions if you're not interested in that as well. And again, you've got your search results there. So again, Bedfordshire's coming up. GU, that looks like Surrey. That's a Surrey postcode. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Well, apparently you can afford Surrey at 150. But yeah, Luton, Bedfordshire, Buckinghamshire. So different options. And on the market as well, the same thing. I don't know why that keeps popping up in there. London, and maximum price 150. I'm going to leave that as that, and I'm going to do it again 1+. So on the filters, if I do the same thing, I don't want new builds, I don't want retirement, and I don't want shared ownership. and I can go for houses, flats or bungalows as well. And it will give me my options. And then this one's prime location, again a similar thing. If I filter it, so exclude no homes, exclude new homes. It's only given me 2 things that I can kick off, so non-retirement, no new homes, which means it's probably going to show me shared ownership as well then. Maybe not actually, I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, it's going to show me shared ownership, so this is a bit irritating because obviously the more expensive ones are going to be like this one's a 50% share in Lewisham. So yeah, so that's it basically. I mean, you can see the differences between the different websites. So this has got 227 results. This one has 103 results, so there's less properties on this one. Then Zoopla has, can I see? It doesn't say how many. Oh, there we go. 696 results, and Rightmove has 412 results. So there seems to be a lot more properties on Zoopla, so maybe that's one to check. Okay, hopefully that's been helpful for you so that you can see maybe what kind of search criteria you can put into these different websites to help generate results that are going to be relevant to you. Obviously, sometimes when you're using these websites, there's a bit of a delay between someone putting an offer in on a property and someone and them taking the information off of the website. So there will be a couple of times where you'll ring up the estate agent and like try and book a viewing in, but they'll be like, oh no, this is gone. But what I will say to you is that if you see something that's in your budget and looks like it's a great deal, just call them, get a viewing in, because things disappear so quickly, especially when they are good deals. Okay, nothing is going to be hanging around because there are people that are going to snap these views up. You have to imagine that you're competing against people who are just looking for their homes, looking to get on the property ladder, looking to invest in property and have buy-to-let properties. So if someone sees something that's going to be a good deal, especially when it comes to fixer-upper type properties, they're just going to snap it up. So be quick. If you are ready or in a position to buy, you feel like you've got your deposit ready, when you see something, just go for it. Okay, don't hang around. Like, life is not going to wait for anyone. So yeah, let me know if there's anything else that you want me to do a video on specifically, and I can try and do that for you. If you would like maybe something that is like a spotlight on different areas, so like obviously I've said I'm based in the Kent area, I'm not going to tell you where I live because that's a safeguarding issue, but what I can do is highlight different spots in the sort of broader area and be like, okay, this is affordable, these are the positives and negatives of it. So if that is a kind of video that would be helpful for you, comment down below and I'll try and do that for you. But yeah, I want to give you content that is going to be helpful for you, and this was something that I had a request for, so here you go. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and if you have liked the video, then give it a like as well, and I'll see you in the next video, I guess. Take care of yourself.